we might do this again, but something really resonant that came up in conversation yesterday is a term that this brother coined, which I love, called kosher tech, kosher dynamics. What does it mean to be kosher? And that's something that I have Judaism in my heritage, but really this transcends that. It's an idea of treating things in right relationship, but kosherness.
It started with our conversation about Talmud.
Right.
About Talmud, about this OG forum that exists over time, where the rabbis from different places in the world, from different points in time, are able to continue a discussion about how to get to this idea of being in right relation, not just with ourselves, with the divine spirit, with the things around us. And that ongoing conversation is the key to its nature, right? That it's not fixed, that we're always searching for the certain goal, right, of alignment, of right alignment, of righteous alignment. Right. And so we have to figure out how to make the things in our lives fit for us. Both fit in terms of like a puzzle piece, but also fit in terms of purity, in terms of it being correct, being it in its best form. And so that's what the word kosher means. Fit. It means that it's right for us to use. And if we use the idea of food, right, which is the most present kosher concept,
most people have heard of kosher food.
Right. That's the most prevalent form. And the idea with that is that we know that the food we're eating is fit, not just the food itself, but how it was prepared, how the animals were slaughtered. We know that, for instance, kosher slaughter means that the animal died a quick and painless death. So for us, we need to know these things to be informed consumers. And for us, it gives us, as the consumers, a piece of solace, knowing and really knowing that what we're engaging in is righteous, is pure.
Yes.
And this idea of pureness, the pureness not being like a pureness to God, right, but a pureness to ourselves, needs to be transcendent, not just for food, but for all things. And one thing that the Talmud hasn't really approached because of its timeliness is tech. In a world run by tech, in our technocracy, it's important for us as consumers to really know that the tech we're using is pure, is righteous. And that's the world we want to live in. That's the world we want to see being created by those who have the power in tech. And there are so many people, so many programmers, so many wizards of the numbers, of the zeros and ones, right? Who have the power and have the authority even to make these calls and to gear and orient the way that they engage in these projects in a way that is righteous, is holistically pure for us, the consumer.
Yes. Do you feel that? Like, in a world where, those of you that have seen movies like The Social Dilemma on Netflix, or, are really aware of how algorithms and suggestion engines on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, on, all these things that are in our informational diet impact us. You can manipulate elections, you can manipulate the thought patterns of people, as we've seen, based on manipulating human perception and what they see in that feed. So all these things, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like when we think about technology and its downstream impact, the way it ripples into society, is it coming from a good place? Does it have social impact in positive ways at its roots and at its core, or is it profit driven? So like we're seeing a lot of profit driven decisions, and that's where I think this taking the Talmud discussion and sort of are we being in right relationship with the true divine principles that govern our world of humanity that builds things and ships products and does things that are not just profitable, because that's a part of our system. Its sustainability in the current day. It might be different in the future, but right now economy is a thing. So how do we bring the kosher dynamic into the technology industry? And so maybe some of you have some ideas about that. You have your own feelings about what kosher means, or what right relationship means in the things that you do, the things that you produce.
If it is possible to orient our tech towards profitability and righteousness and righteous purity, why not? And why not? Why wouldn't we do that?
Why wouldn't we do that? It's a really good question. So, for those of you in tech, I know a lot of people in my friendship network Soul Tribe, like, you are in tech too, as am I, as someone with a background in artificial intelligence and cloud computing and telecommunications. There's so many questions that come up in the boardroom discussions around shipping products that are profitable, but not enough discussions, even though it's lingering in the hearts of many, at Amazon, at Facebook, at Google. Like, you are asking these deep questions. I know you are, because this time hinges on how we respond in a way and build a blueprint for a physical world
that we will all want to live in.
That we actually want to live in, and that treats people with respect, treats the mind with respect, treats, whenever you say customer or user, that means something more than like a number. That's a real person with a real life on their path to doing the greatest good they can. So we'll put a pin in this discussion, but look forward to a future one where we kind of go into some solutionary idea weaving and just riffing on that.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun riff. So we'll let this be the sort of like chapter opener of that discussion. Bless.